question that I think maybe for you.
Sure.
If I want, let's say you buy some house rehab, and if I'm over here, I like to buy some house like you and rehab.
You get my card?
Can I be able to?
Yes.
Do you buy house through the bank or through the city?
It's Joe, the tallest one. I'm sorry. I told her that I'd follow up if you had some question about something. So. Okay, you're welcome. I'm sorry. You were asking about if you could buy
a house which you guys can buy. We can go shop in your store.
Well, you can shop. You can shop in the same store that I shop in, which is the open market of homes that are owned by banks.
Okay.
So I'm purchasing homes from banks.
Okay.
That they received them through foreclosure proceedings. I'm purchasing the homes with the intent to run them through our rehab program, or I'm actually also purchasing some homes that we're demolishing, and we're going to build new homes on those lots at some point in the future. That's another whole topic that we could talk about. We're not there yet.
Habitat, huh?
Maybe kind of a year or two down the road. The work that Habitat is doing over on the east side that's been in the news the last couple days because President Carter was here.
Yeah.
Some of those homes were purchased with Neighborhood Stabilization Program dollars, and we have a partnership with Habitat where they're running their own contract. So to answer your question more specifically, you certainly can be out purchasing a vacant foreclosed home from a bank. It's in terms of purchasing a home that the city has bought, our program isn't set up to offer homes, unrehabbed as is to people. Okay, we're set up our program to either work in partnership with some developers or to rehab them ourselves. Although I must say that what you're suggesting might get added into our NSP program at some point in the future, offering some of our homes just directly to home buyers. It comes with when the city touches these homes with these HUD dollars, the strings attached to the home then, because our dollars have touched them, it gets really complicated.
I understand.
Okay. Faith, yes.
With the HUD dollars, is it only St. Paul you can purchase the house in St. Paul? Can you go any other place and purchase it?
The $30 million NSP program I'm talking specifically about a St. Paul program. But the Neighborhood Stabilization Program from HUD went all over the country. So in this, around here, Minneapolis has a similar amount of Neighborhood Stabilization Program dollars. Actually, Ramsey County received some NSP dollars. Hennepin County received some. And the state of Minnesota, the state actually received about, I think, over $30 million. And they subsequently distributed their NSP dollars out to a lot of different cities across the state, including St. Paul, by the way. In that $30 million, some of it went to the state of Minnesota, and the state subsequently gave some to us to spend. And so everything I described is St. Paul's approach. We have our own program that we developed and said to HUD, this is what we're going to do with the NSP dollars. There's all of these other NSP programs run in cities all over the country.
The last thing I was going to say about Section 3 is if you get certified, your certification is valid for 3 years. Okay, so again, that means even if you get certified under the category of the owners of Section 3 resident, and you get a couple of these projects, you start doing better, you're still certified for 3 years, even though you might not be meeting those income guidelines in year 2 or year 3.
But you can remove it.
You can renew it. It gets a little tricky if you're going to renew, because the purpose is to take lower income individuals and help them to not be low income anymore. So I mean, if you're applying under the category that 30% of your employees are Section 3 residents or low income residents, and if they stay low income after 3 years, you can't count the same employees for another 3 years. If you have, say, another 3 employees that you were able to bring on that meet those income guidelines, you can count that way. And that's in place so that you don't keep employees at those lower wages.
What happened after 3 years? We don't make any.
After what?
After 3 years.
You quit already. I think you quit before. Why don't you bother?
No, you have to raise the question, Yes, that's all we come here about.
Yeah.
Right? If you come here to listen, the question is nobody know. You got to know.
The question is, what happens if after 3 years
Yes.
you're making zero?
No, I make, but I don't make that much.
Okay. You continue to apply.
Yeah, but is it a little bit tricky?
What's that?
Is it a little bit tricky? Harder?
If it's well, I mean, if you're applying, if you get certified because 30% of your employees are lower income, then it gets tricky because who controls how much money the employees get? It's going to be the owners of the business. So if to protect against owners who are going to keep their employees making lower wages, you ask that they apply again using different employees.
Oh.
Because the idea is people
It's like a contract, the Salt Cable or Comcast or whatever.
But if you're the owner and if your income is below those guidelines, it is what it is, and you can continue to.
We're gonna move you into Section 4.
What's the section?
Just kidding. It's just special sections for guys that ask lots of questions. You go over to Luis's office, he's got a section in his office.
Yeah. Because for me, do like in the war.
Section 4
Do it, lay out, and do it. Any soldier, the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody go in the front.
Yeah.
You a soldier, you have to go in the front.
Yeah.
Don't be behind.
Yeah.
Do it.
No contractor left behind.
No. I mean, generally the same thing. Anybody have to go Section 3. Why don't we divide something and share all the income, whatever? That's hard for the low income. Anybody struggle out there? Any contractor or subcontractor, no job. Why don't we, the city, they got $30 million, they invest a lot of house. Why don't we do something? Yeah. Because, to me question, but the question is right. Because
no, it's a good question. And I think it's a question that, we don't have the answer to. I think it's got to be a question that you raise at a very, very high level in the city council.
I'm going to write a letter, send it to Joe.
Send it to Joe, yeah. Got well. So I'm going to talk about this last program, which is the Affirmative Action Program. So the first two programs dealt a lot more with who are your subcontractors, who are the general contractors. Affirmative action goes more to who are the actual workers on site. And Section 3 kind of does have a little piece of that with the new hire requirements, but affirmative action goes into more detail with who's on site. And again, the website is there to get information about this program. And really the affirmative action program applies to most City of St. Paul projects. And there's a couple of things that happen. If you receive over $50,000 or more from the City of St. Paul over the last 12 months, you have to get your company registered. Okay? And when you do that, you submit that registration. That registration is good for 2 years. You have to send the city updates every 6 months. And it's just information about who's your workforce. And specifically, it's going to have you include information about things as to like how many of your workers are women, how many are minorities. Okay? And affirmative action applies to a variety of different companies that do business with St. Paul. All companies in Minnesota, even some that are not in Minnesota, construction, non-construction, nonprofits, goods and material suppliers as well, so it has a broad reach, okay? And like I mentioned, with construction projects, the city has goals. 3 goals that I want to point out is, you take the total number of hours that are going to be worked by people on site. The first goal is that 11% of those hours be worked by minorities in skilled craft. Another goal is that 11% of the unskilled hours that are worked by minorities. So it's 2 separate ones, 11% minority skilled, 11% minority unskilled. The third goal is that 6% of the female hours, 6% of the total hours be worked by females. Okay, so it's 3 goals. Let's see if there's anything else. Jess Reamer, who is the compliance officer for affirmative action, she monitors these goals, and as a general contractor, you'll send her monthly reports. A project report that estimates, for this rehab, we'll be working a total of 200 hours. And out of these 200 hours, this percentage will be minority skilled, this percentage will be minority unskilled, this percentage will be female hours. You send her that. Then you also send her monthly reports. And really it's just adding these numbers up over the month, okay? And I don't want to say too much more about that because I don't deal with this day to day, but you can call Jess and she can give you more information. That's all that I have. What I do want to end with is saying, when we're talking about vendor outreach, Section 3, affirmative action, the way to comply with these programs is to plan ahead and to identify, okay, these subcontractors can help me meet certain goals. I have to be very good about planning out this project. How can I meet my affirmative action goals? How can I meet my Section 3 goals? How can I meet my vendor outreach goals? Okay? And in this process, we're available to help you with that, whether it be sending you a list of plumbers that are on the Section 3 list, or a list of vendor outreach companies certified as women-owned businesses that do tile work. So use us for a resource. We're available to help and answer any questions. Okay. Are there any last questions about Section 3 or any of these affirmative action or vendor outreach?
Go ahead. I don't want me. That's something loud, man.
After you complete here, you certify already.
So on the other work is if a minority company, if they apply for 3 programs, they have a better chance to get the bidding opportunity.
Well, if you're Section 3, you get that bid preference if it's a Section 3 project.
Yeah.
There's no preference given if you're in the vendor outreach program.
No.
So with Section 3, there is that bid preference.
Section 3, when they email to you, what, and you can send us up.
Yeah. And so if you can get on both of those lists, it'll help. Yeah, in the back.
How's the solicitation for bids? How does that go out? Publication, email?
No, email it is email.
For these NSP projects, we're publishing. Did you sign in, by the way?
I came late.
Okay, so make sure you sign in. Because I keep a list. So one of the things is I'll get you on my list to make sure that you get an email notice that we're going to put one out. And then I've got a website. It's www.stpaul.gov/NSP. Okay, and that's where we're publishing the bid packages is on that website.
Okay, so triangle occasions we go check out the site.
Yep.
And in addition,
How come you didn't send me something, Joe?
What's that?
Why don't you didn't send me nothing?
Because I don't have anything to bid yet.
Oh,
Since last time I saw you. Yeah.
nothing?
We're probably
Yeah.
we're a few weeks out yet for the next ones. We're writing scopes right now.
and in addition, if you do get on that Section 3 list, you'll receive notice, a heads up, that hey, there's going to be 4 more houses to be bid up. This is the deadline date. Check out the website. So you get notice in a couple of weeks.